Elevate your new week, fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world events. Hook up to SSM Monday program Between the Lines. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day. Welcome to another new week. It's a special week again, and we're here between the lines. This beautiful day. Do I call it the last? No, second to the last day in the month of June. My name is Godwin Iweajunwa, and here with me is the great man. Who is that great man there?
Well, my name is John Chukwu, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Greetings, 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 and welcome to SSM Monday Between the Lines, where we tell you we speak truth to power, and we are not afraid, about our own ideas.
Power, George, that's a very powerful statement. Speak truth to power,
That's
and
right.
that's what is lacking these days, George. Newsrooms, most media homes have been compromised.
Right.
Most journalists have been bought over, and people are no more giving those real-time updates like they should, like we had back in the days. But you see, the young generation, the Gen Zs, like they call them, with this social media thing, somehow they are the one doing what the media homes are doing back in the days. Is that not so, George?
It is true. It is true. And many of them that are able to speak about these things, most of them are in hiding because they know that if they are caught for speaking the truth, something will happen to them. And that is one of the major issues that we have in our country today. So it is good that people, are really, really, investigating and speaking the truth about some of the things that are going in our country. So I applaud them very highly. And this is the reason why, our own Schengen Story Media is powerful, because it comes from a diaspora perspective. We are not afraid that anybody come and knock at our doors and say, oh, you are arrested for this reason or that reason. So anyway, I just invite everybody to come join us and then listen, while we speak from different parts of the world, what we think about what's happening in our country. So it is a wonderful.
And talking about different parts of the world, here from the London, UK is who's that? Who's that man?
Good evening, my brothers from all other parts of the world. This is Dr. Olufemi Obakarunwi from London, England. Good evening, Nigerians in diaspora. Good evening, Nigerians at home. Good evening, citizens of the world.
You're welcome, big man. Welcome, Doc. George and Doctor, I don't know how it is in London, but the heat dome, like they call it, heat dome, the spike in temperature that has been driven by the hot air blowing from the north of the Sahara is still blowing real hot here in southwest Western Europe. In fact, I got some figures yesterday. All over Europe now, we have close to 1,700 deaths as a result of intense heat. Yes.
Ours has cooled down.
Okay.
Like you can see, I'm in a t-shirt and in my garden, just relaxing and getting some fresh breeze in my garden. So it's quite calm here. The weather was good. I went to work in a t-shirt and a jacket, so it was quite calm today. The air condition in the campus was at the medium, not as blowing at most blast as it was. But the weather is also still warm, but not as hot as it was in the past 3 days ago.
Okay, I think maybe you people had some rain, some showers of rain.
No, we've not had rains yet. We've not had the rain yet, but it's coming.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So
It's coming. The weather is more calmer here, United Kingdom now, and we're expecting to get calmer and more calmer. As at now, we can still sleep and without the windows properly fully opened, but it's much calmer now. The breeze this time 2-3 days ago was blowing hot, but now it's much calmer and the weather is it's just normal summer weather now.
beautiful. So
We can't hear you. You are muted.
am I
You are
muted?
muted.
Oh, me or
Mark,
Mark?
you're muted. Mark, you are muted. Mark, you are muted. You are muted.
We cannot hear you.
We can't hear you. You are muted. I think is has to do with the technology out there from his end.
Yeah, possibly
Uh,
the
yeah.
heat.
The heat actually. I learned that when the heat was so bad that it's melting rain lines out there in some part of Europe. It was that bad in some part of Europe. But actually, we actually are getting it better because we had the worst of the weather as it was, but now we're getting it much more calmer, much
Mhm,
more the normal
Can you hear me now,
heat summer. Yeah, we can hear you now.
gentlemen?
Yeah, we can hear you
Oh, I'm
now.
sorry. Yeah,
mhm. Yes.
this is one of those things that happens when the heat becomes very intense. Gadgets begin to lose their
Yeah.
connection and all of that. So please, let's just hang on and hope it goes smooth uh, through the end. Gentlemen, let's come down to updates, news updates we've been following through the weekend. Viewers, you're welcome. This is Between the Lines, and we're here on this 29th day of June 2026. There was that news because of playing it and probably the machines going off. We might not play it here, but we all have seen it where our First Lady, Her Excellency Remi Tinubu, called Nigerians to embrace small scale trading as a means of coping with economic hardship. Um, yes, during the weekend. George,
Mhm.
has that comment been taken out of context? I
Well,
have my own views, but
there
let's
are
hear you.
there are two sides to this same story that we are listening. There is nothing wrong. She was saying that they have given money, they have contributed to a whole lot of things that are happening in Nigeria. How many billions that has been given and all that. Well, which is encouraging. But there is nothing wrong with selling akara or roasted corn. The concern is the mindset reflected in the advice. Why encourage Nigerians to fry akara instead of promoting digital skills, technology, and innovation, or other modern economic opportunities? Leadership should inspire citizens to compete in the economy of the future. That's the thing. They're not merely survive in the economy of today. So I personally, I respect honest work at every level. But leadership should focus on creating an economy where people have opportunity to choose businesses out of ambition, not necessity. That's my only concern about that. I know she was speaking, from her heart as a mother to the nation, but maybe the choice of words and the mindset is really what is a lot of people are crying about. And that is something that leaders ought to be careful how they speak. And besides, anyway, naming all the things that they have done in regards to giving and all that kind of stuff, it is good. Maybe that will encourage others to continue doing the same. But as a pastor and as a child of the living God, I think that those type of things, Christ tells you to, let not your right hand know what your left hand is, doing when you're giving. So that's my own advice there. But I know it's being taken out of context to a degree, but I mean, she meant well, but it's just the mindset is what concerns me.
That's powerful, George. Your views are taken. But before I come to Dr. Olufemi, let me just add a little to that. I think Nigerians got it wrong, George. Content creators, influencers got it wrong this time. I have been very bitter through the weekend, seeing what people were saying about this statement. I'll come to my talk later so that Dr. Femi will speak. Dr. Femi, the woman said something that is pivotal to nation building. Nigerians, we want to look good when our inside is still not too right, too arranged. We want to look like, we are all made it. We want to look dressed well. Everybody wants to walk in the office, drive big car, look like flamboyant people, which is not bad, but we've not done some pretty good foundational arrangements. And this akara and kulikuli and all of these trade could be one of those things that could propel us all into wealthy place. Tell us, Dr. Femi, what do you say about Her Excellency's government getting out of context?
Yeah, thank you very much. This says the mindset of the youth and the people of Nigeria that are that have jumped onto the especially content creators. It shows the shallow minds of most Nigerians who are complaining that they are hungry. Now, the woman mentioned, if you look at it, was a long statement. It mentioned the investment in people as in not as loan, but as grants to people who had small scale businesses that have gone from small things, and even mentioned some things that people that started small are now making it big. She mentioned some of them. And she also mentioned that even as small as, that's why they mentioned that. But let me tell you, if you had called the kuli and if you had called it small chops, people have jumped on it. That is a mentality. We like to, like you said, we like to call things big things. That is one of the things. We live fake life. A lot of Nigerians love to live fake. And that's one of the problems we have. We like to live, that our priorities are wrong. We like to live big, and so people live fake life on social media, and that's not their real life. If they cook, they put it on social media. If they go to the toilet, they put it on social media. Some people go as far as going to people's house and taking pictures as that's at my house. Now, going back to what she also said in there, I know when we were growing up some years back in Abeokuta, that a woman who sells moi moi, those who live in Abeokuta in the 80s and 90s will testify to this. This woman was selling moi moi. Tell me, by this time in the evening, cars will line up the place, will cause a traffic. She sells moi moi. And she sells in thousands. An average moi moi in Nigeria today will cost about 1,000 naira. And if you can sell 50 in a day, you make at least an average of profit of about 250,000 naira and 250 naira on one.
Let me help our viewers that are
look at the maths of that.
Understand. Sorry. Moi moi is beans cake.
Beans cake. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Cake. Yeah. So
yeah.
for those viewers,
so that will make about 250 naira on one. And if you can sell 1,000 in a day or in a week, you have made 250,000 naira while you are seated somewhere. And that's a profit. Meanwhile, somebody is in the office and is earning 70,000 and say minimum wage. Well, you are working for yourself. You are creating job. You are doing all this for yourself and creating jobs and also employing some people who are going to wash the beans, who are going to make the fire. You are now an employer of labor. That was what that woman was talking about. Before you know it, they jump on it. Some people are even making cartoons of that. What that does, the danger of that to a nation is that those who will love to do small scale business are being discouraged. By those things because they are making fun of them. Meanwhile, those who are making this content and this thing have nothing to say one camera. They have one camera, and that's the only thing they own. And somebody that will do the akara, or do the beans cake, or do the kulikuli, or the granite will make more than they do. So when we begin to look at this in this perspective, it is sad. It shows the mindset. So sometimes when they say Nigerians are poor, sometimes I've said it before, Nigerians are poor, Nigerians are hungry. I always tell you that Nigerians are not hungry. A lot of Nigerians have terrible mindset. They don't like to start. They don't start. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I was disappointed that in most of the blogs we belong to, you didn't defend that thing. You didn't defend that statement. If it was other petty things, you will come in.
No. Go and check. Listen. Go and check. Can I finish? Go and check my post. Listen, and also in the past few hours, I've been very busy because of the end of the year moderation of degrees for my university. I've been very busy, so I've not been that active on this. But in the next few hours, I will come back because I have to do moderation of results. Now, what I'm telling this is this: people's mindset needs to change from small beginning to something big. And that is how the nation develops. We develop from the bottom. Things grow from bottom up. Everybody wants to start with a bow tie, with a jeep outside. It doesn't work like that. No nation develops like that until we get out from that mindset. The danger of this is this. The xenophobia in South Africa was what I'm so afraid of. You know why? The xenophobia in South Africa was a result of when South Africa got independence and was developing. Those who are in the suburb and the south and in Soweto did not key into that development. Foreigners came from Africa and key into that development and develop with South Africa. If we are not careful, a lot of our Nigerian youth will not key into the development of opportunities in Nigeria today. They will not key into it. Foreigners will come and develop. After a while, you see, oh, you look like an outsider in your country. So let us get away from this mindset and key into this instead of looking for content creation.
Yeah, George
I want to add to this.
Okay.
There's a good friend of mine that I met during Christmas time in Nigeria. Her name is Ijeoma Ndukwe. She is the CEO of Wanyi Akamu, the PAP Global. Google her. She makes millions through PAP, and it's all over the world.
Fantastic.
All over the world. Google her. You know, Ijeoma Ndukwe Egurono, the CEO of this global PAP selling. This woman has, you know, she's a multi-millionaire today as we speak. And I'm not talking about in Naira. I'm talking about in dollars. So, you know, when they were condemning what our First Lady was saying, she came to my mind. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, there are people that are out there doing great things through selling akara. Here, this weekend, you know, we had Nigerian Canadian Association had a meet and greet with the newcomers. We saw right there they were frying akara, they were frying puff, and they go around doing this, and some of them are making a living out of it here in Canada. So, you know, the point is that they are blaming her for saying what she's saying because they're politicizing it. But the fact of the matter is, if we can actually concentrate, like this woman, she was telling everybody how, after she failed in another business, how this Akamu situation, this PAP selling, brought her, you know, global notoriety. And she is a fantastic businesswoman making millions today by selling PAP. So that will exonerate our First Lady. Because if you can start it locally, you can now develop it to be international. Now, the Japa syndrome that we are having in Nigeria is creating businesses for local Nigerians who will be exporting these goods to those places. Go to second Lagos, which is Britain, UK. Come here in Canada. It's amazingly increasing. So, I mean, people ought to, the problem is that most of them, they come from the mindset of that their cup is always half empty, not half full. The woman meant well what she was saying. And if
George,
we can grab it and hold on to it, we can grow with it.
George, good. I'm happy you retraced your earlier words. Listen.
No. Listen, I said the mindset. The mindset.
Yes. The thing is not. Yes, is this mentality of people not liking a government, a particular government, and everything that government does, even good, they will still criticize. It's a shame that this woman's statement was taken out of the context and being made like this. Nigerians, we speak to Nigerians directly from SSM. Listen, what our president, Her Excellency Remi Tinubu said is key to our economic growth, is key to us becoming giant of Africa like we claim to be. Because this means that, like Dr. Olufemi said, this will create chain of business. I mean, those that will be bringing these things from the farm, those that will be processing the gas, the lightning, everything, workers, everything. This will blow us up. And now this is what happened to China. You see, Nigerians go to China now, and they don't even know the story of China. China was a third world country some 15 years ago. Is that not so, gentlemen?
Yes.
But today, China is a superpower. China sits on the same table with America and the rest of the superpowers. Now, what happened? It's that SME, small, medium economy, that bloated the economy. They went into all of these little things, repairing shoes, doing little things, and somehow, because their number is big too, they have a large number.
Can I also burst your bubble? Can I tell you that just last month, in my household alone, the cost of tailoring from Nigeria in my household alone is over ₦1 million, just tailoring for the tailor in Nigeria. Because what we did was that we sew for everyone, and we sew because we're going to sew towards the end of the summer and Christmas. Why am I saying that? It was cheaper to do it in Nigeria than to do it here. So what do we do? What did we do? We took our fabrics to Nigeria and we gave it to our tailors. There was a tailor in Ibadan that sewed all my clothes. And when I go to England, when I wore them, people are saying, "Who did this? Give me his number. Give me his details." And they begin to call him. He said, "All we need to do is measure and send. He will do all the thing, package it. Even he puts logo, if you want your logo on it, he does all that." What are we talking about? Look at Vodi. Look at how they're in Nigeria. Clothing, selling. And the thing is what we need to do, Vodi did not start yesterday. He started small, in a small shop. Even he did a documentary on himself, how he started from a small shop and built up that. But Nigerians just want to become Vodi overnight. What are we talking about here? Small, like you said, SME are the key to the development of Nigeria. Like you said, China, I remember about 20 years ago, if you want to do anything in America or United Kingdom, you send it to China. Within a few days, they'll send it back to you because it was way cheaper to do it there. And that was because what they did was to tailor their currency to make it cheaper to do those business, and the business were going there. It is now the turn of Nigeria. People are beginning to look towards Nigeria because we got the exact and the real value of Naira. If you want to key into Nigeria, want to develop yourself now, look for something to export. Alpha, my tailor, will sew my clothes for 80,000 naira. 80,000 naira is less than 40 pounds here. To sew a buba shokoto in London, you need about 100 pounds. And he will sew it for less than 40 pounds in Nigeria. Why will I not do that? Do you see the sense in it? And meanwhile, it's making so much money out there in Nigeria. So if you sew my clothes, if you sew 10 of mine in a week, is made Cool 400,000 naira.
Cool 400,000 naira.
400,000
All right.
naira.
So, gentlemen, we all agree with one voice, unanimously agree that Nigerian content creators are the ones misleading people now. Content creators, oppositions, and all of these are misleading people. We shouldn't politicize everything in Nigeria. Viewers, we have a good number of viewers here. That's why I'm directing straight to them. Everything becomes politics. Everything we want to bring in all these partisan ideas. This thing our First Lady said is a win-win for us if we could go into it. It's a win-win for our economy. It's a win-win for the future. I mean, is it not better than Hook Up? Is it not better than our girls standing out doing all of these things they say they are doing? I mean, get yourself small money, get your pan, before the end of this year, if that thing is started now this month, gentlemen, you agree with me, that person will be having, I mean, you're having like 10,000 naira a day from selling these small trade. So
Mark,
we need to,
Mark,
highlight this.
Can I just add something? We do parties every day, every week in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What do? We put small chops on the tables.
Yes.
We put small chops on the table. What the First Lady was talking about was small chops. People do know that in Nigeria now they serve gari and ekpa in some parties, and with ice cubes in some parties. They do that. Somebody has just keyed into that. I know. Recently, my mom's funeral, I know how much we spent on small chops. Somebody sat down somewhere, made those small chops, made the money, and went to buy. And that's just one occasion, just one. And if that person keys into that 5 weekends or 4 weekends in a month, all he needed to do is just have one in 5 days in a week, just get one per week, and makes about 200,000 naira, and that's 800,000 naira sitting down doing business and also having time to spend with their children.
Family.
But the thing is, we and their family. But what we are doing, we go to this mentality. Everybody must wear a tie. Everybody must go to work. Everybody will carry a suitcase or drive a jeep.
Look, our young men all doing Yahoo. Our young men sitting down and they call it pressing button, and all they are doing is swindling white women, swindling white people. I mean,
there's a name for it now. There's a name for it now.
Okay.
There's a name for it. I can't remember. I said something that has to do with dates gate or so.
It's press button.
Yeah.
And Sir George, I wish studio could play the video, but because of this heat thing, Sir George, I also want to correct the notion that her speech was nice, well presented. There's no other way she could have said what she said. Yes, she used those ordinary terms, like Dr. Femi said. Probably if she has said small chops. But I mean, this is a mother, an old woman. What does she know about using slangs? Her speech, I went through that speech. I played it time and time again. And I saw her that's the best way she could have said it. There's no other way that people wanted her to say it. There's no other way she could have put those words. That's just the best way to say it. So we need to tell our people, we, the diaspora Nigerians, are suffering the effect of this no money in the house. We are the social means, social provision for families. But it's time for families, our people back home, to go into this pretty business, these small scale businesses, and make a life for themselves. How long will you continue to rely on Western Union? How long will you continue to rely on support? And that's what has led to pressing button, hookups, Yahoo, and all of these things that has been happening. So this is our message today, loud and clear. Nigerians, what the First Lady said shouldn't have any backlash at all. She gave a good business advice, and Nigerians should all key in. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for that. Let's come back to some other stories. You talked about this xenophobia and the deadline. Tomorrow is the deadline. The South African locals have given to visitors in their country, foreigners. Gentlemen, Nigeria says they are getting out another batch tomorrow too, another batch of people coming home. What do we see with all of this? They are now even taking laws into their hands. They are killing people. They are scattering stores. their protest is growing stronger and stronger. What do you say, George? How do we go with South Africa on this thing?
Well, number one is a payback was given to South Africa by Canada yesterday by defeating their behind over this situation. So we applaud Canadians for showing them, paper. And we applaud them because this is something that is absolutely very despicable when you think about, that they are chasing away all their so-called brothers, chasing away all the black people from foreigners, that are black people from South Africa, but they're welcoming Indians, they're welcoming Chinese people, they're welcoming the people that actually, put them under slavery for many, many years until Nigerians, some other nations came together to help them out. So, I applaud Nigeria. 271 people are going to be coming back tomorrow by Alin Onyema's APs. And I applaud the government, in their effort to help these people out. And I'm hoping, by God's grace, that when they come back, that these are the people that need that social welfare to start up again. Not paying all these bandits money and giving them money because they are so-called repentant, terrorists. And you're paying them money and giving them wives. These are the main people who had businesses and then they have left their businesses behind. Hopefully the government will see through to give them a little bit of stipends to start their life back again because they lost everything. So I really, 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 commend the government in the effort that they are making. And hopefully that money has been released already, which was actually being held back some kind of way. We spoke about this on Friday. So, thankfully, they will arrive and something will happen. So we thank you, Mr. Tinubu, our president, and the government today. Please, please help these people that are coming back. They are going to be taxpayers locally in our country. Help them to reestablish themselves. But thank God for that.
Yeah. Just to add to what Sir George just said, it is imperative that we mention the fact that this xenophobic attack is a stab on the heart of everyone that saw what the South Africans went through and then put in there. Now I remember there was a time Nigerian government took a cut from every civil servant's salary to support the South Africans in the 70s and 80s. And these are the same people that are killing Nigerians for coming to those countries. And when we see this kind of thing, and I was expecting the AU to take a sanction against South Africa because this evil happening in South Africa is with the government of the president. What's his name? Maposa. What's his name? The president of South Africa. The man is involved because I saw one of his campaigns where he was talking about this. Yeah. And in order to avoid his responsibility, to run away from the responsibility of taking care of the downtrodden South Africans, he was saying that the Africans are taking their jobs. Not Indians, not Koreans, not Japanese, not Chinese, not English, not Americans. He says Africans. The same Africans that fought and shed their blood for the emancipation of South Africa are the ones now taking your job. Thank God that now we are now living. Like also, living also means that there's support. And I think Imo state government and Abia state government had promised to support indigenes of those states that arrive from that. I know those two states are promised to support those ones. Other states should follow likewise. Everyone that's from those states, at least apart from the federal government support, the state government should also do that as well to settle the state people back into the system, into the diaspora. Now, finally in this, I want to say this. Now that in every nation has their own challenge. Our own challenge is insecurity, and we have to face it together as a nation. The challenge in South Africa is this senseless xenophobic attack, and that's their challenge. You know what? after they have done this to foreigners, they will turn on the government soon, and they will turn on themselves. I'm sure about that. They will turn on themselves and turn on the government very soon. Yeah, it's a saying in Yoruba language. It says, I will translate it in English. He says that the kid that you used to be the first wife, it is still waiting for you to be the second wife. So when they are beating us now, foreigners, they are beating us. That kid and that mentality is still there for them to deal with government and to deal with their own men. So when their own people take over those shops, they will come after them very soon.
Very soon.
Guess what?
Very soon.
Guess what? A
Yes.
South African recently posted that South Africans are suffering after they repatriated a lot of all these people. Those businesses that used to serve the common man is no longer there.
Okay.
It's no longer. They're crying. There is a huge vacuum right now in that country. The guy is from South Africa, and he was, calling the government that they should stop what they are doing, because those businesses that used to support them, they used to import small goods, do small businesses to help the common man, are all gone. I say that the streets are empty, that no life in South Africa anymore. In Pretoria. So this is what you are saying. So don't worry, they will suffer the consequences, because these people are lazy.
They will suffer the
lazy people. These are the poor people that are chasing away all these people, giving excuses as if now Nigerians and Ghanaians and all these other foreigners came to take away their jobs. They don't do anything but drink themselves to death. And this is what South Africans are saying about each other. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's true. No, George, that's true. What you're saying confirms it. The interesting thing is they didn't have a job, so nobody took any job from them. The people that came created the jobs, So it's a crazy mentality they are spawning out. Viewers, we're here on Between the Lines, and George Chuku is there from Canada. Dr. Olufemi is there from London, UK. Gentlemen, let's come into another. When we see good, we true real people, we acknowledge good. I'm impressed to hear that our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed the National Identity Management Commission Act. He signed it into law on Friday. Let's talk about that thing, because that name, you see that identity arrangement, that's the key to Nigerians' progress. Now, imagine these guys are ravaging Nigeria, killing our people, abducting us, kidnapping us, because we don't have anything on them. No data base in Nigeria, well structured. Now it has come. The NIM has come to stay. No future government would reverse it. You know that our mentality of every government comes and changes everything, tells you it's no more that one. It won't happen again. We're going to stick with this identity. So viewers, it is the NIM, the national identity, that Nigerian identity. Yes. So let's talk about this. The president has put into law, and that's impressive. I once spoke with some diplomats, and I was telling them, how will this name, how effective will this name be? I mean, will the government not come and tell us, no more name, let's use this? You know how we do. We spoil things. We don't stick on one plan. We don't follow through with one arrangement. We just bounce everywhere. But now this is it. So if you've not done your name, you better go do it. Dr. Olufemi, let's start with you. Yes.
I want to applaud the government on this, because there is no way we can develop when you don't have data on the people that we're governing. And we have done this over the years. We're just blabbing in the dark. Now, do you know that it's so good that everybody, even when you take a loan, and that's one of the things that actually destroyed our business ethics. People take loan and disappear. People take loan and change their name, change everything about them. You can't find them. They just disappear into thin air. That will not happen with all this, because the moment they put your details on there, you cannot disappear. Where you open, there was an incident that happened in England. A woman had abused a stepdaughter, a stepson, and a stepdaughter, and the stepson died in the course of that. That was 37 years ago, 27 years ago, and she ran away to America, to Jamaica. Do you know she came back 27 years later at Heathrow? She was arrested at Heathrow 27 years after she's committed the offense, because her records are waiting. The moment she's not her passport, it says that she's wanted. So all this will come into fore when we begin to. So if you steal, you run away, your details will be there. If you do this, you do this. So when people know that there is repercussion for something, I also remember there was a governor in Delta State that actually used two identity when it was contested, because he was convicted in the United Kingdom. I won't mention names here. He was convicted in the United Kingdom. He has a record of conviction here. By the time he wanted to contest election in Nigeria, he said he wasn't the one. And somebody came up and said, I was the one. I was the one that was convicted in England. That one has never traveled before. And the court just accepted because money has changed hands. But with NIM, nobody can do that again. Nobody can change that again. If you have a record, even there was let me give you an example. My daughter has an old Nigerian passport. When she went to renew her passport, when we go to Lagos, when we went to renew her passport, she had a passport which was over 15 years ago. When she wants to do that, they said, oh, she had an old passport. We have to bring it. So we have to take a picture of an old passport in Nigeria, which we left that in England because we thought it wasn't necessary. They needed that until she got a new one. So it's beginning to work. She can't have a passport and say she brings the old one. That shows that we're beginning to connect dots. And therefore, security also will work when we know who is who in our local community. When we know the number of people who are living with that locality, we begin to plan for those. When we know the number of people in that, how do we plan for them?
How do we plan?
So we need to do that, yeah.
Thank you very much. George, so have you gotten your name, George? Have you done your...
I have my name, as a matter of fact. When I was in Nigeria in 2015 and 16, my personal assistant got me the name and got me everything. I didn't even know. So on my way back to Nigeria this time, I tried to do another name, and it cost me almost 10 days in Port Harcourt, because it was already there. When I put my name and all my data in there, it triggered something and they blocked it. And they had to take me another 10 days in order for me to recover my name back. But I do have it. In a unified digital system like this, has a real potential to improve governance and service delivery. Because, and also my concern is that trust must be earned, because what happens a lot of times is we initiate new laws, we initiate something like this, but we are not articulate enough to educate people on the pros and the cons of it. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, he signs this, and this is a fantastic, good initiative, but we need more. Somebody who will come out, talk about the advantages of what President Tinubu has done. The question we have to ask is, who will guarantee the security of Nigerian personal data? Do you understand? Because we know how crafty our people are. With growing concerns about cyber threats and institutional accountability, what safeguards are truly in place to prevent abuse and breaches? Those are the things we need to talk about. Yes, it's a great initiative. Other countries are using it, and it will help our politics. It will help a whole lot of things, with the banking system and all that. But there are still areas that needs to be, question marks are there to ensure that the instituting these things are good, and then there is preventive measures for, cyber security threats. So
yes, George, maybe you didn't get, there have been some mobilization going on now with the public for them to understand what the name can do for them, the efficacy, the importance of the name. And also, the president highlighted that there's a 5-year jail term that will be blown to anybody that goes goes against anything on that identity.
That's
That is
right.
like you steal somebody's identity, you use somebody's own identity, or a back end thing, like we had the story between a movie actor Emeka Ike and the other man with the INEC thing. Now, those are real incriminating issues. The people will be jailed 5 years. You know, so there's a law now. Since it's been written down, it's been passed as a bill. Actions will follow, strong action, and we want Nigerians in the diaspora to know that this is the time to also let's put our mouth into this. Let's encourage our people to do more of their name. Let's also make our people back home to understand that here lies the secret, like Dr. Olufemi said, of progress. You know, database. When a nation has, is that every other thing will be working. Nobody will steal. No, people will be scared to do nefarious things because they know that their names are their data is with the government. So this is it. We've been talking about this for a long time here. Me and my tech friends. Finally, we have a law that now holds on to data.
Can I just add? Can I just add a voice to this?
All right.
Do you know that in recently, because of the and even the fact that the BVN and NIN, we're not talking about names now, B and NIN being useful is what has helped the loan shark to track people. Those who are doing small scale loan and borrowing and business, so they know that made it. If you take a loan from you, they get your details and they can track you wherever you go. So that is when names become more active, you can go to the bank, take a loan because they know they can track you. And that's one of the reasons why people are scared to give out loans to Nigeria, because they will disappear. So they know that they can track you. There's no way you can disappear into thin air. Then we're going to see government. Now that government has refused to borrow from local banks anymore, then the banks will have no choice than to do business with Nigerians and do small scale business. SME will be to get loans from government. Since they can track them, they own the directors. Yes.
This is it. Good one you're saying. Also, let's emphasize that federal government should go now and get all our northern Nigerians, the Nigerians in north, up north, north, south, northwest, north, south, north. I mean, let's all have everybody's data, because these boys wrecking us havoc now is because they have nothing on them. So they can come in, kidnap anybody and go away. Now, when everybody is documented, you can't even commit, you can't steal again. This is what holds Europe and the Western world, because any slight thing, boom, they get you. So
your data is up.
Your data is up. So all Boko Haram, ISWAP, whoever they are, we need to go now and register all of them and let's know if they call themselves organization, you know, they can be related with like that. I mean, get them to register. Yes, you say you're an organization. Okay, let's register you as an organization and have your data with us, so that anything you do will come for you. So, gentlemen, we'll be saying that in this network. We'll keep saying it. The NIM is a perfect, beautiful idea. Let's encourage everybody to get their data registered so that we can begin from there and have a good organized country. Well, big man, let's talk about the registering of political parties. I don't understand why a party will be taken off the register when it's still a party. When the party has not said we're no more a political party. Why will a political party be removed from the portal of registered party? I know there are indices that have been made. If you don't have social number of people, if you've not won any election, if you've not, but a political party should just be a political party, regardless of winning election or not. George, what do you say? INEC and the registry.
This renewed call for INEC to deregister political party raises serious constitutional and democratic concerns. Although Section 225A of the 1999 Constitution empowers INEC to deregister parties that fail to meet the electoral threshold, that provision was never intended to be used as a tool for shrinking Nigerian democratic space. So democracy is strengthened by political pluralism, not by reducing opposition. While concerns are about ballot clutter may be valid, administrative convenience should never outweigh citizens' constitutional right to political participation. And the vibrant opposition is essential to holding government accountable and preserving democratic governance. So, I'm just wondering, because one of the things that is happening is it looks as if, that proverb that, your voice sounds like Jacob, but your body feels like Esau type of situation. I'm hoping that this is not as a result of, what everybody has been crying about. Rather than focusing on the registering political parties, INEC should prioritize conducting a free, fair, and credible elections. The electorate, not administrative action, should ultimately determine whose political parties to survive. So any perception that opposition parties are being systematically weakened risks undermining public confidence in Nigerian democracy, fostering fears of emerging one party, which is something that a lot of people are crying about. So now listen to this. Now the reason why they are deregistering them was simply because somebody brought about an allegation, unfounded allegation, because of the two fingers, that is in their logo. So these are, we need to be careful in Nigeria, because Nigeria as it is today is a ticking time bomb. We need to be careful the kind of decisions we are making, because a lot of people are on edge, and we just need to maintain peace and decorum in that country. So these little things that are happening that looks like should not. We need to be careful. We need to be careful, honestly, because a little thing can.
We need to be careful. We need to be careful, George.
We need to be very, very careful.
But George,
Okay.
Dr. Femi, it's not just the NDC party. It's a list of many parties, and even ADC is there. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Now, in as much I want to concur with Sir George, I said something, and I kept on saying in any forum I find myself, if system works in Nigeria, most of us in Nigeria will not survive. If the system works in Nigeria, if the laws work in Nigeria, most of us will not survive. There are extant laws and that were enacted to guide party creation. And some people have looked at those areas and find flaws in them and have gone to court. INEC did not go to court itself. Some people went to court. I saw those lacunas and went to court. If those are not there, they will go to court. I am not in support of or against anyone, the legislation or anybody. But the thing is this, I kept on saying, if system works, many of us in Nigeria will not survive. The reason why we are surviving abroad is that system works. We cannot change those systems, but we have to conform to those systems. That's why we are surviving in this country. But in Nigeria, when we get home, we want to change that system to what suits us. Now, going back to these party creations, now we need to look at some people actually saw those lacunas in those creation of those states, those parties, and they want to exploit that. An example, let me give an example of what happened in Zamfara State in 2019, when APC was contesting election in Zamfara, most popular party in Zamfara, and they won everything. But somebody saw the lacuna, the fact that the party chairman was not properly elected. The person went to court and disqualified everybody. And the court disqualified everyone, because the system did not, we didn't work with the system, but we want to get victory. In Nigeria, we need to check, this one disqualified, this one disqualified this. Let us go and look at, does the system, we shall begin to develop a strong system that does not say that either you are black, white, yellow, or green. If APC violate that, APC should be punished. If PDP violate that, PDP should be punished. If anybody, we should not be used to do what's called microwave government. APC violated something in 2019 and they were disqualified. So I'm not saying that I don't know anything about this, but they should go and get themselves sorted out. If you have it, go to court, go and clear it, let the court justice to what is right.
But that is under the assumption that the court has not been brought over. Let me tell you something. Now listen to this. We're talking about reality here. What we're talking about is reality. We're not talking about, don't talk bad about your country. We have seen so many judgments that came, and you're wondering what school of judgment did they go to? What law school did these people go to? No, we know that already. So one of the major issues, even some of them that were disqualified because of the number of people that were not, we discovered actually after investigation that some of them, these political parties in the north, there was somebody who won under them. He's in the house. So, we cannot arbitrarily just start causing trouble or try to weaken our democratic institutions. Nigeria may not implode overnight, but no nation is immune to instability when democratic institutions are weakened. We gotta be careful. Opposition voices are suppressed and citizens lose confidence in the electoral process. That's why you see, people don't even care anymore about going to vote. Their voters' apathy is because of this type of situation. Because if you're like, if I go and waste my time and vote, it's not going to count anyway. So these are the little things we need to be very, very careful about in order to maintain a strong democratic, oversight internationally and otherwise. It is the perception that democracy is no longer providing a fair and inclusive pathway for all voices to be heard. When stuff like this is happening, let us be careful.
Thank you, George. Let us be careful. One thing is opposition party it adds to democracy. So you can't silence everybody. And
I have not said silence the opposition. I have just said let system work.
Okay.
System work. If a system work, it will make Nigeria a better place. It's not about the fact that you go to court. The judge, it is justice. That's why you see the symbol of justice. His eyes is closed. It does not look at whether you are black, white, or yellow. Whenever the judgment does also say, "Oh, judge has been bought over," this or judge has been bought over. If your lawyer argue your case and argue, that's why you have layers of justice. You have High Court, you have the Court of Appeal, you have the Supreme Court. Take it all the way and then get justice. You cannot say they brought everybody all the way to the Supreme Court. No, that is not fair. It is not fair.
All right, gentlemen.
Justice is blind. Let your lawyers go and argue your case. But the thing is this: democracy must survive.
Yes, correct. Democracy must survive. Thank you very much for those words. Our time is up, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Viewers, you've been here and listening, and we appreciate that. Even though we also like you sending your text, sending your own opinion, your views, so it adds to the show. Before we go, this afternoon, children were sitting for the NECO exam. NECO, I don't know how you call it. NECO. And they came and abducted them again, kidnapped them in Borno State. So this is the sad news. Wednesday we'll come talk more on this. But the kidnapping is still moving, still waxing strong. And it's sad that now what they are doing is putting fear into our kids, our children that goes to school. So soon, most of them will not want to go to school because of the fear of being kidnapped. So let's come Wednesday. We'll be getting more updates on that. George, is there any last word for today?
My last word is congratulations, Canada, for beating South Africa. Congratulations. And my country, Nigeria. I am so sad that we did not make it this far. Next year, Next time we're going to have FIFA. Let's do it again. Let's come out with strength, because Nigeria is a resilient, powerful country. And the government, please help them out. Help them with training so that they can go out there and look. Maybe one of these days, Nigeria will host FIFA. It'll be one of the countries that will host. So let's do that, and may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and bless our president and his family, and all the governments, all the way to the local government chairman. And God bless every single one of us. Bring us to that paradise that you have created us to be. The most beautiful country in the whole entire world is Nigeria. Good governance will take us there. In Jesus' name.
Right. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. God bless everyone. And also pray. I also want us to also look inwards. No nation grows from up down. Nation grows from down up. And that's what should be our watchword. Thank you.
No nation grows from down inward, but nation grows from down up. That's a beautiful one. So on that note, we say have a beautiful new week, everybody. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning up with SSM Between the Lines. Wednesday, we'll be here 12 o'clock Nigerian time. So until then, arrivederci. Ciao, ciao.
Peace out.